Rare time now. So back to white cards, and we're just gonna do this all in one go. So starting off with Confessor's Binding, single white mana for an enchantment at rare. At the beginning of your end step, you may tap 2 untapped creatures and or treasures you control. If you do, you draw a card. Otherwise, sacrifice this enchantment. And this is Rent is Due in paper. Not for us, right? Can we just give this a quick F?
We both gave it a D minus, but yeah.
Oh, sure,
Close
sure.
enough.
Yeah, close enough, close enough. I think just like too finicky, too hard to make work, etc., etc. A Demi of the Silk Shoots is up next. 1 and a white for a 3/2 legend. It's a spider at rare. Has flash and has 2 abilities. One, you can pay 1 to give a Demi flying until end of turn, or you can pay 1 and sack a Demi. Creatures you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And this is Spectacular Spider-Man in paper. So 2 mana, 3/2 flash. Okay, good. Spider, good. Gets flying for a mana. Okay, you'll do that. Protection creature. I think all good stuff.
Yeah, this card's really solid. The mana cost is going to eat, like, it probably can't attack without spending a mana, so you probably have to dump a mana into it almost every turn. I gave this a B minus, you gave this a B plus. But I don't want to slow us down too much, but do you think we should have done that first card quite as quickly? Because I imagine some people probably thought this card was going to be...
The 1 mana enchantment. You want to talk about that one a little more?
Well, I just want to make clear that, like, tapping 2 creatures is just a huge cost. Like, the damage you're going to take is not worth it. If you're ahead enough that you can afford to tap 2 creatures, you probably should just be winning the game instead of drawing cards. Because, like, it looks like a card that could be good, but I'm pretty confident it's not. And just wanted to, on some of these cards that are less obviously bad, I thought maybe we should explain a little bit of it.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think that this is probably a good one to call out. So yeah, no, I had nothing to add, but I'm glad you did have something to add. Anything more about a Demi before we go to the next one?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Next one is a Most Helpful Weaver, which is a saga. So there is a saga one at rare in each color. 1 and a white. First chapter says, create a 2/1 green spider token with reach. Chapter 2 is put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It becomes a legendary spider hero in addition to its other types. Chapter 3 is target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. And this is Origin of Spider-Man in paper. So you're getting 3/2 worth of stats and a good attack for 2 mana. It's a pretty good package. Like, it's not over the top, wow, I got so much value, but you're getting your mana's worth for this.
It does look a lot worse on the draw, right?
I mean, yes, but not like a ton worse. I guess it's bad if you go, like, I play this, they go 2-drop plus, like, shock your creature. Like, that feels pretty bad.
Well, even if you have to trade off your spider, the chapter 2 doesn't do anything.
Right.
And then if you're not boosting your board for chapter 2, the chapter 3 probably also doesn't do anything relevant because you're on the back foot.
It's true, but I don't know. I think when it goes right, like, it's a very good 2-drop. And when it goes wrong,
yeah.
Okay, it dies, you know?
Well, my point wasn't that I'm going to think it's bad. I think it just might be better as, like, a 4-drop.
I see. Just to guarantee the counter on the double strike. Yeah, no, that's maybe a good way to put it, where it's like, if you have another 2-drop, it's probably better to play it out than this one. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Still good, though.
Well, if you do have the pigeon, then you have another target for your town.
There you go, the pigeon. Yeah. So what do we grade this one?
We both gave it a B minus.
Yeah, sounds about right. We've got Yura and Oski, Weaver and Guide, which is a strictly better version of a common. So this is 2 and a white for a 3/3 legendary spider hero. At rare, has in web for a single white mana. And when it enters, look at an opponent's hand, then choose a card other than creature. Spells of the chosen type cost 1 more to cast. And this is Arachne Psionic Weaver in paper. Notably, this is not your opponent's, like most, some white cards say, like, oh, your opponent's spells cost 1 less or 1 more to cast. This is everybody. This is a symmetrical effect.
Yeah, the best part of the additional text on this is looking at your opponent's hand, for sure.
Yeah, which is good, but mind you, like, I love looking at my opponent's hand, but you're sometimes, like, you're gonna calling Planeswalker on this sometimes because you're like, oh, we both have the same thing, but I don't want to make mine cheaper or mine more expensive, right? Yeah. So what do we give it?
I'm still like looking at someone's hand is really.
It's good. Yeah. No, it's very good.
I'm actually higher than you on this one. I gave this a B minus. You gave it a C.
Yeah. So was that C plus there?
Yeah, from you. Yeah.
Yeah. Remarkable Readings is up next. This is 3 and a white for an enchantment aura at rare. It enchants a land, and when it enters, you get 3 1/1 tokens. The enchanted land has tap, pay 1. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. For each creature you control, activate only as a sorcery. And this is Friendly Neighborhood in paper.
This card is so good.
Yes, very, very strong. Like, making a lot of bodies. Great. Now, basically every card you have becomes a threat on attacks. And you just keep going like, send in, send in, send in.
You know what's the most gross thing about this is that it's tutorable with the delivery move.
Oh, yes it is. Yes it is. That's really good. Okay. And
Yeah.
yeah, like nothing bad to say. What did we give this one?
We both gave it an A minus.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, very, very strong. We got Chosen by Valgavoth up next. This is 4 and a white for a aura at rare. It says enchanted creature you control. The enchanted creature gets +2/+2 for each aura and equipment attached to it, and all damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to the enchanted creature instead. And this is with great power ... in paper. So like forget about anything else. Let's just vanilla test this as like 4 mana +2/+2 to something, and all damage is dealt to that, or all damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to that thing. Is that good?
Not particularly.
No. Let's say it has something on it. +4/+4. Okay, like that's a pretty big buff. Like hasty +4/+4. But if it has a good attack, okay, you get them once. Maybe they chump. Maybe they take 8 or whatever, or 6, 7. But then like it's kind of like a planeswalker-ish, or like it turns your creature into a planeswalker in some ways, right? Yeah, I don't think this one's. It can be powerful, but I think on average it's just gonna be too hard to get together and like too situational.
Yeah, not quite. Like again, also tutorable by the delivery mogul.
Mm-hmm.
Like that becomes an excuse to play it instead of being happy about it. Otherwise, I think it's pretty bad overall. We both gave it a D.
Yeah, I think so. We've got an interesting cycle of mythics now. So these are, I don't know what you want to call them, transforming modal double face cards. Basically, these are cards with the back and the front, and they all have a monocolored cost and a transformation cost that's 3 colors. So these are, in a lot of cases, effectively 3-color cards. So yeah, these have a 3-color activation to flip it on the front side, and you can also just cast it for that same cost as the back side immediately. So you don't have to go through the trouble of like, cast the cheap side and then transform it. If you want to cast the backside, that has a mana cost too. You shouldn't just cost it. So a little bit confusing, but basically here's an example. Surus Silk, Spider Silk Innovator, 1 and a white for a mythic legendary, not a spider, just human scientist hero. When it enters, you make a 2/1 spider token with reach, and then for 1 green, white, blue, transform this only as a sorcery. Surus is an 0/1, by the way, if I didn't say that. And the backside of Surus is Surus Silk Tech Vanguard, 1 green, white, blue for a 4/4 reach, vigilance, and legends you cast that are 1 or more colors have in web for white, green, blue. So let's just talk about this card as a 2 mana 0/1, make a 2/1. I mean, it kind of sounds nice to pick up the 0/1, but it's very difficult to tap a 0/1. Actually, can you use this to crew, or are 0 power creatures prohibited from crewing? I don't remember.
I would assume you can crew, but I'm actually not sure either.
Yeah. Any case, okay, so there is that. You can maybe pick it up if you're lucky. Yeah, chat confirms you probably can. And so it's like 2/1, make an 0/1 chump blocker if you're not picking it up. It's not the worst. Like that's like a what, C- maybe?
For 2 mana, make a 2/1 with reach and an 0/1?
Yeah, maybe even a little higher.
Well, I think
Yeah,
that's
like
pretty
C plus.
good.
Yeah. Let's even give it a bigger grade than that, C plus.
I think
Okay.
so, yeah.
And then, are we willing to put mana in our deck, different colors of mana, to transform over to this backside?
I think it's going to be pretty easy to like, because the nice thing, some of them are weird color combinations. One is splashable, like it's all three allied colors with the central color being white.
Yes.
So if you're
So,
like white blue, it's not that hard to splash green. If you're white green, it's not that hard to splash blue. Now, I never think you're really going to want to cast the backside because, like, by the time you have that mana, you probably have mana. You may as well get the free spider that comes with it. But I think this card's really good.
yeah. I think the legend side is, or legend text is like, okay, whatever. It's mostly 4/4 Vigilant Reach. But, yeah, like you said, like 0/1 or 2/1 Spider making 0/1, like, that's just good. And sometimes you can pick it up if you're lucky. So what do we
Yeah,
get?
I was high on this one. I gave it a B. You gave it a B minus.
Yeah. Yeah. Solid card. Solid card. Kind of a cool one. And that is Peter Parker, by the way, in paper. This is Verilax, the Haven skin up next. This is white, white for so 5 white mana for a Mythic Legend. It's a 5/5, and it says, when Verilax enters, if it was cast, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, and if damage will be dealt to Verilax, prevent that damage, put that many +1/+1 counters on him. And this is Anti-Venom, Horrifying Healer in paper. So only goes in one deck, and that's like a very, 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 very heavy white deck. But it's a good effect if you can cast it.
Yeah, we have a big gap on this one, but I think that's mostly just us grading it under different criteria. So I kind of like do my grades as like a function of power multiplied by how often I think you're going to play it, which is pretty rare, I would guess.
Me too.
Because if you are in mono white, this is like an A level card. It's really good.
Yeah, but if you're considering this just like pick one, pack one, how often is it right to pick it? Your grade, which that's what your grade reflects, which is fairly low.
I gave it a B minus. You gave it a B.
Yeah, and so that, and it was C minus too. I think it was a little bit not clear on the
Yes.
recording, but yeah, C minus. That's a pretty big gap there. But yeah, I mean, I think we kind of said it all. Great card if you can cast it, but most decks won't be able to. Gonna bring us on to blue. Spectral Restitching is the first card here. X and a blue for an instant at rare. Exile X target artifacts or creatures. Return the exile cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. And this is hide on the ceiling in paper. So blink a bunch of things.
Well, not quite blink, because you can stop them from blocking, right? Like it's
Oh, sure.
they
Yeah. Slow blink, basically. Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be expensive falter, but overall pretty bad card. We both gave it a D minus.
Yeah, it's it's sort of flexible where it's like you can use it as a protection spell, you can use it as like get a blockers out of the way, but like yeah, even with that flexibility, like neither looks very good. Next up is Merida Neuron Hacker. Single blue mana for an O2 legend villain, and it's a rare. It says whenever you draw your first or second card each turn, put an ingenuity counter on this creature, and then you can tap it and you can cast an artifact from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the number of counters on this card without paying its cost. And this is Lady Octopus in paper. F for us, right? Not a limited card.
Correct.
Not enough artifacts, and even if there were, I would still be a little bit dubious. This is Bellion the Parched up next. Blue for a 2/2 legend villain. Whenever you cast a blue card, or a blue spell, if Bellion is a creature, he gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And at the beginning of your end step, untap Bellion, and until your next turn, he becomes a land that taps for blue mana. And is not a creature on your turn, by the way. And this is Hydroman in paper. So, 2 mana 2/2 with, like, blue prowess that can never block and can help you cast instants. That's a weird card.
Yeah, the can never block part didn't clock for me right away. This was when I first started doing my initial run through, and then I was like, wait a second, this card kind of sucks.
We usually really, really dislike this creature cannot block. Like, that line of text is not good. And this is not, like, it gives you something. You're getting a blue mana, but I rather this just be able to block, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both gave it a D+.
Next up is Detect Intrusion, which is 1 and a blue for an instant at rare. has in web for a single blue mana, and you counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, or triggered ability. And this is Spider Sense in paper. So very, very narrow counter spell.
Yeah, I just gave this an F. You gave it a sideboard grade.
Yeah.
Functionally the same.
The Watcher on the Road is up next. This is 3 and a blue for a legendary villain at rare. It's a 3/3, and when it enters, you make a 3/3 blue illusion villain token for each non-token villain you control. Exile those tokens when the Watcher or the Road leaves the battlefield, and this is Mysterio, Master of Illusion in paper. So this is 3 mana and a 3/3, straight up, right? That's good, and then it goes, scales from there. Obviously, like, this isn't exactly the same kind of card as just, like, make a token, and then even if this dies, you get something left behind. But, like, if you just don't have a removal spell, this card's going to be a pretty big problem, even if it's just, like, make 2 3/3s.
We've seen removal spells of this size do fairly badly in stats before, though.
Like creatures of the size?
Yeah, like 4 mana 3/3s
okay.
that need to survive to do a thing.
Well, I guess it is sort of needs to survive. Yeah, you're right. Because I mean, it's effectively as needs to survive. It needs to kind of untap. Yeah, I don't know. I just
a fake ETB because if they kill it, you lose everything.
Right. Yeah, it's a fake ETB. That's a good way to put it. But like sort of, kind of, because if you can trade those 3/3s off. Like, it does have an ETB, right? Because, like, you trade off 3/3, you get a 3/3. So it's like somewhere in the middle, although closer to not an ETB rather than is. But I just imagine going, like, 2/3, 2/3 forward as this is your 4, and, like, that really just demands your opponent has a removal spell right there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Hard card to evaluate. What do we give it?
I was lower than you, so you gave it a B-, a C.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, we'll see. I could see this one going either way. Next up is a Saga, Lost in Lityara. 3 and a blue for a rare that says Chapter 1, Surveil 3. Chapter 2, when you next cast a creature spell this turn, copy it, except it is not a legend. And Chapter 3, choose a card name. Whenever a creature with the chosen name deals combat damage to a player this turn, draw a card.
So you really need to hit a creature on this, but it should Surveil 3 plus having cards in hand should let it, even if you copy something pretty small, I think this card's decent. And if you copy something big, it's great.
Yeah, this is pretty good. I am a fan. What do we give it?
I would give it a B-.
Yeah, cool. Also a pretty good thing to pick up if you can, like, bounce it. Like, I mean, all these sagas this is true for, but there is the blue bounce a thing if you can't draw a card, right? So just look out for that play pattern with all these sagas.
And the Mana War too, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Mana War as well. Bounces on non-land permanents. Gobin Gene Splice Savant is up next. 1 and a blue for a 1/1 legendary villain at Mythic. It can't be blocked. And when it deals combat damage, he connives. So, like, that's really good. Like, just like 1/1 can't be blocked, connives when it hits. Big fan of that. The transform cost, this is one of those mythics in the cycle here. 1 blue, black, red. Transform only as a sorcery and transforms into Fleam. The talk of the town. Everybody loves Fleam. Fleam, Gobin's creation. 1 blue, black, red. For a 3/3 flying menace. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 2 less to cast. And each non-land card in your graveyard has mayhem, with its mayhem cost equal to its mana cost. Okay. Oh, by the way, this is Norman Osborn in paper. This is a really nice one.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's almost never correct to transform it.
Yeah, right, because, like, the backside, I mean, by the time you want to transform it, you're not going to have that many, like, cool mayhem-y synergies. Like, your hand's going to be mostly empty. And just, like, conniving each turn is on an unblockable creature, that's just great on its own. So this one's interesting. Yeah. I guess that would imply, it sounds like you don't think this one's worth playing Fixing for, then.
No, I'm happy to count this as a mono blue card, and I think it's a really good one.
Would you play a red-black land in your blue-black deck? If you have this card?
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah,
Like it does push an extra like 2 damage the turn you flip it.
I guess maybe you would like if you didn't have a surveil land anyways, you might like use it as an excuse to get a surveil land in your deck. I don't know.
Honestly, I think the answer is no. Like
Yeah.
I think it's I think the one side is just better.
And what do we give that, by the way? What's your grade for this card?
We both gave it an A minus.
Yeah. No, card's nice. We've got Imposter Syndrome up next. This is 4 blue for an enchantment at Mythic. And it says whenever a non-token creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. So this is like quite a rich stay rich, win more kind of card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, it's not completely this that it can kind of swing a game. Where you're like you land this, you have a flyer, it gets in, but like I don't know. I think most times it's gonna be a little slow, a little awkward, a little need too many things to come together.
I completely agree. We both gave it in the D range. I have it at D. You have it at D plus.
Let's move on to some black cards now. So first one here is Luis Pompous Pillager, LSV's invitational card. He posted this on Twitter earlier today, and this is X black for a 2/1 lifelink legend villain at rare. Enters with X +1/+1 counters on it, and when it enters, it deals X damage to target opponent. Card's good. Card's really good. Just good early, good late. Yeah, can't complain. Is a villain?
I mean, when I started playing, people were playing Drain Life, like
Yeah, no body.
was yeah, no body, exact same card. I mean, you could hit creatures with, but going face was the most common play pattern. And if this stabilizes you and leaves behind a huge game, good at pretty much any mana cost, we both gave this an A minus.
Yeah, A minus for both of us. And this is Morlun, Devourer of Spiders and Paper, by the way. The House Grows Hungry is up next. 2 and a black for a rare saga. First chapter, destroy target creature. Second chapter, each player may discard a card. Each player who doesn't loses 3 life. And the third chapter is exile any number of target players' graveyards. And spoiler alert, but the name in paper is The Death of Gwen Stacy. So we're getting sorcery speed kill a thing. Each player discards a card, may discard a card, and if they don't, they lose 3, which ostensibly is an upside for you because you can discard a mayhem card. And then, exiling the Grave Matters a small bit. It's a little bit of an add-on. Definitely the least important chapter here. But if you look at this as like, kill a thing, the opponent then either has to discard a card or gets dealt 3, and maybe you make a bit of mana off of a mayhem card. It's a good deal.
Yeah, right. It's a good deal. It's a solid card. We both gave The House Grows Hungry a B minus.
Next up is Duskmourn's Claim. 2 and a black for an enchantment at rare. At the beginning of your end step, 2 target players each reveal the top card of their library. They each lose life equal to the mana value of the card revealed by the other player. Then they each put a card they revealed into their hand. This is Parker Luck in paper. So I saw you gave this not an F on your rating sheet, Mark. What's the idea here?
Yeah, I gave it a D minus. Probably like the fact that your opponent gets to use the card first and has just potentially dealt you some damage.
Yeah, like this
It's
can go like
really,
horrifically wrong, right? Like they can like reveal something big, you can reveal a land, like you know. Yeah. All right.
yeah, I mean it draws cards. I like drawing cards.
Yeah, it does. It sure does. We've got Relix the Accursed up next. 2 and a black for a 2/3 legendary symbiote soldier hero, so no relevant creature types. It's a rare, flash and menace, and whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Another non-token creature, by the way, very specific wording here. Some of these are, some of these let you draw a card when they die, but this one only cares about other things, and this is Agent Venom in paper.
Flash on this is real nice though.
Yeah, just like, the opponent blocks 2/2 on 2/2, you flash this in, draw a card, great.
Yeah, or you flash it in and eat something, or you block, and then there's a lot of use cases quite good.
Yeah, I like this one a
Um,
lot.
you like it more than I do. You gave it a B minus. I gave it.
Sorry, say that last part. You gave it a.
You gave it a B minus. I gave it a C plus.
Yeah, okay. Next up, we've got Villainous Wrath, which is 3 black black for a sorcery at rare. Target opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures they control, then destroy all creatures.
So the spots that Wraths are already winning the game is when your opponent has a lot of creatures than you.
Yes, when their board is they've committed, you maybe haven't, and yeah.
So the upside on this to me, like you are at a B plus for this, I'm at a B minus, which is 2 grades different. I was just kind of thinking like the average case for this is probably they lose 2 to 3 life, which is something, but not enough to go super high for me.
Yeah, I kind of saw this a little bit different. So I saw this as okay, well, early in the game, like if this is an opening hand wrath, you just play like you normally would with a wrath, maybe commit but not too much, try to get them to overcommit 2 for 1, 3 for 1 them. But then there's a lot of spots in the mid game or the late game with wraths where like you have it and you're like, I don't really want to cast it here. Because like I'm not getting an advantage. And I kind of just see this as like, okay, well, there's a lot of spots where I can imagine like just going for a big attack, like boards are stalling out, you go for a big attack, maybe you deal them 6 points or something, and then this deals them the last 6. I don't know. I just think it's a really, really like a little bit awkward than some wraths early on, but a lot better than other wraths for this one later on.
Yeah, it could be, could be.
Yeah. Okay, so grades. I think yeah, like you said, a little bit.
Yeah,
We're kind of divergent here, but
yeah. I mentioned them already, but B plus for you, B minus for
oh,
me.
sorry, missed that. Yeah, we've
Okay.
got Wrench Speedway Saboteur up next. 3 black black for a 2/3 legend. It's a villain at rare. When it enters, you look at the top 9 cards of target opponent's library. So many cards. Exile 2 face down, then put the rest on the bottom of your library, or on their library. You don't get to steal them. Bottom of the rest of the bottom of their library in a random order. You may play the exiled card for as long as they remained exiled, and spend mana as if it was any type of mana to cast them. This is Black Cat Cunning Thief in paper, which is why it's 9. It's a flavor thing. Mega Gonti, basically, right?
No death touch matters,
True, true.
but yeah, this card is insane.
Yeah, just the like even if this is just trumping, right? Just imagine this is just like okay, they have a 5/5, you trump with it. It's draw the 2 best cards out of the opponent's top 9 and gain a chunk of life. And it'll be better than that than sometimes. Sometimes you're gonna like rebuy this or trade with it or whatever it is.
You know how we weren't really talking about color strength earlier, and we've kind of been zooming through
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
But like whites had some good rares and some good commons and uncommons. Blue maybe had the best uncommons, I think, but like the rares were kind of mopey and disappointing. And like blue's rares don't look very good, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Black just has banger after banger after banger. There's so many good rares here.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at what's to come, and yeah, it's not. We're not at the end of that list, so
Yeah, I mean, this is the only card I gave an A plus to, and you gave it an A. That's incredible.
yeah, this card seems really, really good. The Terminus of Return. This is the Soul Stone in paper, so Infinity Gauntlet, and this is 1 and a black for a legendary artifact at Mythic. It's indestructible and it taps for black. What do we think of that? Just like straight up 2 mana black mana rock and like a blue black villainy control deck. How do we like that?
I wouldn't be interested.
No, I agree. I wouldn't be that interested in that either. But has an ability 6 and a black, so 7 mana. Tap, exile a creature you control, and then harness the Terminus of Return, which gives it this new ability that says, at the beginning of your upkeep, return target card, creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's a mana rock that turns into a reanimate something every turn.
But you have to have a creature that you're giving up for that.
Yes, yeah, you have to be, and you can't also reanimate that creature. It exiles it.
Correct. Yeah, tricky. I mean, this is another one we're 2 apart. You're at a B, I'm at a C plus, and I honestly have no clue.
Yeah, I just imagine with all the conniving and some mill, more conniving than mill, like that's the main way you're filling your grave. Like it's your decks or your graveyard's gonna be pretty stocked for this. And I mean, it's not to say that exiling a creature is not a cost. Obviously, it is. But like, you can block Zac with this, right?
Yep.
Right. It's an instant speed ability. Yeah. If you're ahead, like it's not that this is a super big deal, but if you're ahead and your opponent's like, well, I got to kill that thing, like you can just sack the thing when they cast a removal spell. I don't know. I just think that ability is like going to be the focus point of like what the game is about in a lot of games.
Yeah, you could be dead right. I'm not defending my CP.
Okay, yeah. Cool card though. Cool design. Next up is Vigo, Enforcer of Ig's Crossing, which is 2 and a black for a 3/3 legendary villain at Mythic. When it enters, return target creature card with mana value 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And this is the Jund transforming card. So for 6 mana, 3 and Jund mana, black, red, green, transforms into a 5/5 Menace Trample Haste with, of course, the same mana cost. You can cast this on the backside if you'd like. Whenever it attacks, you can sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw X cards. Then you may put a permanent card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, where X is the sacrifice creature's mana value. So, sack a big thing, draw a bunch of cards, maybe put something else down. So this one, I think,
disappointing. The first two.
Sorry, say it again.
I said kind of disappointing after the first two flip cards.
Yeah, this one is, I think, a little more constructed focused. Like, it seems like a lot of the power points are, like, on the 3-mana reanimated 1-drop. I think this is more, like, the way I look at this, much more different than the blue one, is like, okay, well, it's like a 3-mana 3/3 early. Maybe you get something back if you're lucky, but, like, not all the time. Actually, fairly infrequently, I would say. And then...
You need your pigeons.
Sorry, again, say?
You need your pigeons.
Yeah, you need the pigeons. Yeah, the black-white deck that we're going to be throughout the draft. Your pigeons or your cats in red-black, I guess. What is it? Blue-black. Does blue-black have a 1-drop? Does blue have a 1-drop? I don't think so.
Green has the spider rare.
Sure. In any case, I think this is mostly...
Also has Aunt May as well, the O2.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is mostly 3-mana 3/3 that you're like, okay, for 6 mana at some point I transform it. So this one I am probably looking for fixing to go with it, I would say.
If you're in red black and you have the Gruul hybrid card, that already fixes you for green.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that's a really good point. So it's like very free fixing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then if you're in like green red, you might have like guy in the chair or whatever. Like there are ways to get black mana as well.
Yeah, like chat says, this is great. Yeah, draft the white pigeons for your black, red, green transform card. Yeah, interesting card. What do we give it?
We both, and Eddie Brock in paper, I don't think you mentioned it.
Oh,
we
I did.
both gave
Thank you.
C-.
Yep. We've got Egrix, the Bile Bulwark up next. This is 3 black for a legendary spider at Mythic. It's a 4/4 Death Touch lifelink. When it attacks, until end of turn, you can look at the top card of your library, and you can play cards from the top card of your library. But if you cast a spell this way, you pay life rather than paying its mana cost. So it's a Bolas' Citadel for those who have played with it. And this is Gwenum, Remorseless in paper. So 5 mana 4/4 lifelink Death Touch. How do you feel about that? Solid.
It's okay.
Yeah, solid. When it attacks, if it survives combat, because remember, like, you can't just... This has to survive combat if you're casting non-instants. Yeah, you get to cast some cards. Like, it's good.
Do you need it to survive?
Until the end of turn, you may look at the top card of your library, and... Oh, I guess you don't. No, you probably don't. Yeah, you're right. It probably just creates that effect.
Trigger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just has to attack.
So,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot better like this.
Yes, much better. Okay. Solid. Like, solid plus. What do we give it?
Solid, yeah. We both gave it a C+. I could see that being too low, honestly.
I think so, too. Yeah, I graded that assuming it had to survive. So I'd actually probably bump my grade up a little bit. And the last black card here is Hex of Undeath. Behold the Sinister Six in paper. 6 and a black for a sorcery, a mythic. Return up to 6 target creature cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's your graveyard, not the opponent's, which would be much easier to get to 6. So really, you're probably reanimating like 4-ish things with this. If you've been conniving throughout the game, obviously if the game goes really long, you might get more things back.
Yeah, and there is some self-mill. Like, you're higher than this one, and I think this is the one I think you're probably right on. Sometimes I say I try to talk you down. This time I'm not going to bother. You gave this a C+, I gave it a C-, and I think it's probably close enough to 7 mana win the game.
Yeah, 7 mana win the game is kind of what I was looking at with this card too. It's going to bring us to red now. So first red card is Rizna, the Spider Crown. Single red mana for a 1/2 legendary spider at rare. Whenever you attack with 2 or more spiders, including Rizna, put a +1/+1 counter on Rizna. And whenever Rizna deals 4 or more damage, exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you can play that card. And this is Spinneret and Spiderling in paper.
So another time when red-green, like the +4/+4 trick, plays really nicely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Okay, you can just cycle your Titanic Gross or whatever they're called, the +4/+4, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, you can even do it on turn 2 and hope not to hit something that costs more than 3 mana.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, it's a nice one.
Not a ton of spiders in red, so I do think this is mostly like a red-green card, but
right.
I do think red-green's the least supported, so I'm glad to see some more of those. I gave this a C, you gave it a C+.
Yeah. No, it's all below 1. We've got Quint's Insight up next, which is 1 in a red for an enchantment at rare. At the beginning of your first main phase, you can discard a card if you do draw a card. And whenever you play a land or cast a spell from anywhere except your hand, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. And this is Shot Out of the Goblin in paper. So we've got a Madness build around that gives you a discard each turn. Can kind of be a card advantage engine if you're discarding Madness cards or Mayhem cards each turn. And yeah, deal some damage here and there.
Would you play this in red-green?
Like with no Mayhem cards?
Mm-hmm.
Rummage every turn is probably not worth the card. No.
It might be.
I mean, I think in some games it will feel like it, right? Where you're like, wow, if I didn't have this, I'd draw 10 lands or whatever. But I think in a lot of games, it's just gonna feel like you're down a card.
So yeah, I mean, I graded it assuming it was going to be more red-black. I think it's quite good in red-black, and I might have even regretted not bumping my grade up. I gave it a C+, you gave it a B-.
Yeah, and that's in red-black. Like, I think you got to be doing the thing. Kraza, the Swarm as 1, is 1 in a red for a 2/1 legendary spider at rare. It has Riot, which says, this creature enters with your choice of a +1/+1 counter or haste. Other spiders you control have Riot. Spells and abilities can't be countered, and damage can't be prevented. And this is Spider-Punk in paper. So, mostly looking at the first 2 abilities, this thing and your other spiders having Riot. And that's pretty good. Like, that's a good, like, a good mode, or a good split card of, like, 2/1 haste or 3/2.
Yes.
Yep, so...
No, I think it's quite good.
Yep.
I gave it a B-, you gave it a C+.
Yep, nice aggressive card. Bayo, Irritable Instructor, is 1 red for a 2/3 legendary villain at rare. Has flying and says you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you add red. And then when Bayo leaves the battlefield, you can pay X. And when you do, it deals X damage to target player. Okay, yeah, that is quite the card. That is a very scary card.
What do you think the chances are that Arena Auto Tapper is friends with this thing?
I mean, I'd give it a coin flip. That kind of feels like their hit rate for these kind of things.
You're more optimistic than I am. I have no. I doubt that this is going to work the way you like. I think you'll have to be in full control. But if you use it to its full potential, it's very scary.
Yes, yeah, and obviously the more red you are, the better this card is. This is Electro Assaulting Battery in paper. But yeah, like even even if you're not that red heavy, and you gotta have red to cast it, obviously, but like, say you just don't go past those 2 red mana. Okay, so this deals you 2, or deals them 2, and then, maybe you save 1 of that red mana, and then like they kill it on turn 5. You can deal them like 3 or 4, maybe even more. Yeah, scary card. That's just, we could go through the scenarios how it plays out, but it's a good threat.
Well, like even without banking, even if it didn't have the instant or sorcery trigger for red mana, I think it'd still be really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you can just throw all your red mana into it every turn, and then you attack with it. They can't block it. It's like yeah. So I give this a B. You gave it a B plus.
Yep, and it's gonna bring us on to Laszlo, Enthusiastic Accuser, which is 2 in red for a 2/2 legendary rare. It says when it enters, you suspect up to 1 target creature. And for those who don't remember suspect, this means a suspected creature has menace and cannot block. So you can do that to your creature to give it menace, your opponent's creature to have it not be able to block. And it says whenever a creature you control with menace attacks, you create a treasure token. This is J. Jonah Jameson in paper. The 3-mana 2/2, not good. You do get to, if you want, get a menace attack and a treasure right away. I'm not sure about this one. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's bad.
I graded it as if it's bad. I think it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning more on bad than good, but just kind of a weird one. Yeah, so just what did we give it grade-wise?
You gave it a C. I gave it a D plus.
Yeah, I could be a little more. I could be like a little too high. I could be convinced I'm a little too optimistic on it. Just kind of a weird one. Next one is also kind of weird. Lava Brink repels the Magmaloth. Maximum Carnage in paper. This is another saga. 4 in red. First chapter is until your next turn, each creature attacks each combat if able, and attacks a player other than you. Chapter 2, add red. Chapter 3, the saga deals 5 damage to each opponent. Strange card. So, 5 mana. You don't have to cast it on your main phase 1. So you don't have to attack. You can cast the main phase 2. Just be careful about that.
Yeah, yeah. Please don't cast it on main phase 1, is what you should say.
Yes. Sorry. You don't want to do that. And then the play pattern is like, hey, they attack you, so they tap their stuff. They can still play blockers, of course. But then that, I guess, gives you a good attack on the crackback. Most times, or sometimes, I should say. And then it deals 5. Like, I guess in the most aggressive of aggressive decks, I could see this as like a low tier playable, but most decks aren't going to want this.
No, you gave this an F. I was at D minus. I think it's quite bad.
Yeah. Next up is Nia, Sky Sail Storyteller. This is 1 in a red for a 2/1 legend at Mythic. When Nia enters, exile the top card of your library. You can play that card for as long as you control this creature, and has a activated ability 2 blue, red, white. Transform Nia, only as a sorcery. Transforms into Nia Fabled Sky Climber, which is 5 mana, so the same cost, just Sky mana into, for a 4/4 legend at Mythic. Flying Vigilance Haste. And it says, whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, you put a +1/+1 counter on Nia, remove 2 counters from Nia, exile the top card of your library, you can play that card this turn. Okay, so lots of words. This is 2 mana for a 2/1, exile the next card of your library, and you can play it as long as you control this creature. Okay, that's all fine. That's pretty good, but would you grade that card?
I like that. I'd put that at like B plus.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, that's just like a pretty solid card. And then sometimes, if you got the mana in your deck, it turns into a Vigilant Hasty Flyer that can draw cards, maybe? Yeah.
It may even be better than like a C plus, just as the 2-drop. Like, it's pretty close to like Spirited 2/1 Spirited Companion.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, basically, the only times when it's not is when you cast it and the opponent kills it the next turn, or you cast it and you hit like a 5-drop and they kill it sometime in between there. Because if you draw it in the late game, it's most likely gonna be able to hit something you can cast right away.
It is weird. So also, as if enough words haven't been said already, this Gwen Stacy
Yes,
in
thank you.
paper.
Thank you, thank you.
But the annoying thing about this is that you're not likely to be red blue or red white.
Right. So this is like a white blue splash the red side kind of card. Yeah, no, that's a great point. I didn't consider that at all, actually.
So you kind of, I think you got to kind of decide if you're going to aim more for the front side or the back side on this. But
And
I still think it's pretty good.
and probably just the front side, right? Like I mean, not that you will never consider the back side, but like you should look at this card as like, yeah, you don't go out of your way to splash the back side most times.
I just mean like the front side is for the red deck, the
Oh,
back
I
side is
see.
for
Yes, yes, yes.
the white deck splashing red, right?
Right, right. Yeah, so in that way, it's actually not that awkward, right? Okay. Yeah. So, grade?
You were at B minus. I actually went higher than you on this one. I gave it a B.
Yeah, no, I can see it. I can see it. We've got Arachnomania up next, also called Spider-Verse in paper. This is 3 red for an enchantment at Mythic. The legend rule doesn't apply to spiders you control. And whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you can copy it. If you do, choose new targets for the copy. If the copy is a permanent, it gains haste. Do this only once per turn.
Quick F.
Yeah, I think so. I was gonna say, is there anything to be said about this card? But probably not.
Nope.
Green cards. All right, so before we get to gold, this is the second last thing here, and this is Fate Weaver as our first card here. Single green mana for a 1/1. Reach Death Touch at rare. It's a spider. You can pay 2 and sack it to search for a spider hero and put it into your hand. And this is Radioactive Spider in paper. Oh, sorry. Also, activate that only as a sorcery, so it can't block and sack. So, pretty good modality. Like, trades off early. Great. Goes and gets what is likely the best card in your deck if you've got a spider hero, or one of the best cards anyways. Yeah. Solid little card.
Yeah, I'm mostly evaluating this without the sack ability because it'll just it's going to be pretty good at most points of the game just as is. But we both gave it a C plus.
Yeah, I've been I have mostly been calling out villain and spider as the relevant creature types on creatures, but I guess spider hero specifically does matter for this. So just if you haven't heard hero too much and you're just listening, there's more heroes than you might think. I just haven't been calling that out.
Good point. Yeah.
Strength of Will up next, and this is 1 and a green for an instant at rare. Until end of turn, target creature you control gains indestructible, and whenever this creature is dealt damage, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. So it's weird because it's hard to get a ton of value out of all of these modes, right? Like if you protect against just a removal spell, let's just say, okay, you're not getting counters unless it's a red removal spell. Could be that. In combat, I guess the best scenario is you've got a 3/3 versus a 3/3 or a 4/4 versus a 4/4, something where a trade was going to happen, and you win the combat and get the counters. Okay. Can't help you win a combat, which is a little bit awkward, but at the same time, I think this has got enough upside. It's a split card of protection spell against a removal spell, and if I have a square combat or a combat we were going to trade, it turns out very well for me.
Yeah, I think the best case scenario is going to be rare enough that I'm a little less optimistic. You gave this a C. I was a little lower to C.
C minus was that? Yeah.
C minus for me. Yeah.
Next up is Tarantusk, Unwisely Awoken. 1 and a green for a 2/2 legendary spider at rare. When it enters, you make a food token and other spiders, boars, bats, bears, birds, cats, dogs, frogs, jackals, lizards, mice, otters, raccoons, rabbits, squirrels, rats, turtles, and wolves get +1/+1. I didn't read those in order, but I think I got them all. It's a lot of creature types. Yeah. And, okay, so 2-mana 2/2 spider that makes a food, that's good. And it'll randomly pump some creatures. It pumps your pigeon. I assume that's a bird.
Oh, I didn't even look. I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine it's anything else.
It is. It is a bird. It's broken.
And this is Spider Ham, Peter Porker and paper. Yeah, good too. Good too.
The spiders is the one you're going to want the most.
Yeah, obviously.
Of course. But, the food is nice too. A 2/2 make a food is already a...
Yep. 2/2 make a food's good.
You were up at A- for this. I gave it a B+.
Next up is the Scouring Sandstorm, which is 1 green green for a legendary villain at rare. It's a star. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. And it says it can't be blocked by a creature's power 2 or less. And you can pay 3 green green to return it and target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. This is Sandman Shifting Scoundrel in paper. Yeah, this one's pretty nice. So Growing Threat, like 3 mana 3/3 that just keeps growing, hard to block, comes back. Notably, you need to have a land in the graveyard to bring it back. Is that correct? You can't just go like return this card with no land.
Yes, you need
Yeah,
a target. Yeah.
but yo,
And
can't
there are some
complain.
ways to exile this. Like there's the Banishing Light, there's the thing
Sure.
that puts it on. I think there's 1 or 2 more, a couple exile spells.
Yeah, I mean, really cool too that you can just like mill this and bring it back. Like, you know, especially if you happen to have like some sort of, let's see, I guess blue green and black green aren't exactly gonna be common. So connive plus this card isn't that likely to happen. But you know, once in a while, that might be the case. But yeah.
Yeah, I might not have registered how it might be harder to get a land in the graveyard with
Mm.
this. The land is Evolving Wilds, right? You have Evolving Wilds basically.
Yeah, we've got Evolving Wilds. Yeah.
Yes, we have Vibrant Cityscape, which is an Evolving Wilds. Okay, so at least every color has access pretty free.
Yeah. But grade. What grade did we give this?
We both gave this a minus. It's super annoying.
Yeah, really good. Next up is King of the Cold Blood Curse. 2 green green for a 5/5 legend villain, a rare. It has trample. When it enters, up to 1 target creature loses all abilities and becomes a green lizard creature with base power and toughness 4/4. Could be your stuff, could be your opponent's stuff. Most likely going to be your stuff, right? Just like turn your 2/2 into a 4/4 and start bashing. But if they have like a really, really busted card, you could turn into a 4/4 with no abilities.
Well, he's also just a bunch of like the pigeon can become. I mean, it loses
Oh,
flying.
the pigeon,
It
yeah.
becomes a huge pigeon.
So fat, yeah.
Well, it's actually a lizard at that point, but still.
Good card though, and this is Lizard Connor's Curse in paper. But yeah, strong card. What do you give it?
Yeah, you gave this an A minus. I gave this a B+.
We've got the Trail of Teacups up next, the saga. 3 and a green, rare, 3-chapter saga. First chapter, mill 5 cards. When you do, this saga deals damage equal to the greatest power among creature cards in your graveyard to target creature. Chapter 2, target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Chapter 3, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Craven's Last Hunt in paper. So much value. Like, this is a 2-for-1 in a lot of cases that pushes some damage on the second mode. Yeah, just all-purpose good card.
I think there's a small chance that this could be an A+. But I grade. We both graded it as an A, but I think this card is incredibly good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a fail rate on it, just maybe milling and missing sometimes, but like 5 cards is a lot. You're likely going to hit something.
Well, and it doesn't need to be from those 5.
Yes, that's true. Absolutely. Yeah, it could just be like, you know, late game, it's going to be on. Yeah. No, I can see it. I totally agree. We've got Kren City, Undercity Dreamer up next, and this is 1 and a green for a 1/2 legendary human citizen hero at Mythic. When it enters, you put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Okay, so this is also one of those transforming mythics, but 2 mana 1/2, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 2 target creatures. Like great,
Yes, I agree. Good deal. Yes.
great double spell card on turn 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good thing to pick up if you can. Anyway, so that's pretty solid. I think you could just play that card in any green deck pretty happily. And then the transform is 3 red, green, whites, 6 mana. And the backside becomes a 4/3 first strike haste. You can pay 2 to put a +1/+1 counter on Kren, and it gains hexproof and becomes colorless until end of turn. And then whenever you attack, double the number of each kind of counter on each spider and legendary creature you control. This is Miles Morales in paper. So yeah, pretty good backside. I mean, it's awkward because you probably have a shields down moment, right? Where you go 6 mana, transform it. Okay, I'm tapped out. But if you get to untap past that, like you're gonna be able to keep up the 2 mana activated ability. that not only just grows it really large, but also is protection. Okay, so
But
like
you
that.
can also already have a counter, right? Like,
Absolutely, yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point.
because there's a good chance it's a 2/3. Like, yeah, this card's really strong, and in the ally pairs for
Yes,
the 3 colors as well.
yes, exactly, exactly. Yep. What do we give it?
We both gave it a B plus. I could see it being even higher than that as
Okay, last green card here is Through the Omen Paths, or Web of Life and Destiny in paper. 6 green for a mythic enchantment with Convoke. And it says at the beginning of combat in your turn, you can look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature from among them onto the battlefield, put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay, so let's just imagine this comes down on, I don't know, 6, maybe 5. You can do it immediately, because it's the beginning of combat. And you're very likely to hit, because like 5 cards is a lot, as long as you've got, 15 creatures. So you're affecting the board immediately with something that's probably worth, a decent amount of mana. And then you can just kind of sit back and get all the creatures out of your deck eventually. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it's pretty good, though.
in a way. It kind of reminds me of like Breaching Dragonstorm, if
Mm.
that makes sense. Where like the first hit is the important factor that determines how good it is.
Yeah, right. That's a good way to put it. If you hit a 2, I think you're pretty like, okay. You're holding your breath a little bit after that, right?
I mean, as much as we've talked up the pigeon, if you're flipping a pigeon with this, like you're not doing it, right?
But
Like,
the pigeon's so good to be able to convoke it out. I guess like from a design perspective, that's kind of cool, right? Because it incentivizes you not to just be like, oh, all cheap stuff to convoke it out, or all expensive stuff to put into play.
yeah.
Yeah. So what'd you give it, and what did I give it?
I was 2 grades lower. I was at C minus. You're at C plus for this.
Yeah. Okay. Gonna move us on to the gold cards and hybrid and colorless and lands and all that. First one here is Makti and Itla Sky Snarers. This is 1 in an Azorius hybrid for a legendary spider at rare. 2/2 flyer that says artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter tapped. And the paper version is Spider Woman Stunning Savior. So 2-mana 2/2 flyer that's very easily castable, that makes your opponent's things come and tap. Like that's all very good.
Great card to first pick because it can go in so many decks too.
Yeah, I like 3 out of the 5 archetypes, I guess, if you want to think about it that way, is where the hybrid cards can live. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
both abilities good.
I gave this a B. You gave it a B minus.
Yep. Next up, we've got Angler's Shield, which is 2 white blue for a equipment at rare. When this equipment enters, it attaches it to 1 creature you control, so auto equips. The equip cost is 2, and the equip creature gets +2/+2, and has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card for each modified creature you control. It's called Biorganic Carapace in paper. Another good thing to search with that 3/2 flyer.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
a lot of them at rare and mythic, even if there's not a lot at common and
So just going 2 into 3 into this is pretty good. Like, they very likely either have to chump or let you draw a card. Pretty nice to put on that 2-mana hybrid card, right? The one that gets flying when it's modified in Ward 2. Yeah, this is nice. Like, very cheap equip. Like, 4 mana auto equip is like good to get this ability, and 2 mana to pass around +2/+2. And when it deals damage, draw a card. Like, that's also very good.
Oh yeah, this card's gonna be a nightmare to play against.
Yeah, really nice one. So what do we give it?
I gave it a B plus. You gave it an A minus.
Next up, we've got Skiv the Augmenter, which is 2 in a Dimir hybrid for a legendary spider hero at rare. 2/4. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, look at that many cards in the top of your library. Put one of them into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. Also has the ability 2 in a Dimir hybrid, exile this card from your graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains this card's other abilities. Activate only as a sorcery. And this is Symbiote Spider-Man in paper. Okay, so pretty decent stat line here. 3 mana, 2/4. That's very... You very much want to block this thing. The opponent has to block this thing, and they might not always have a good block. that early in the game against a 2/4.
Yeah, that's the threat of this is worth something because they'll often have to leave back multiple blockers in case you have a removal spell.
Yes, exactly. And a good thing to mill. It's just one little other bonus to this card. Yeah, seems pretty good. What do we give it?
B minus, both of us.
Yeah, nice. Next up is Cavero. No, Cavero. There we go. Cavero. Mind Bitten. This is 2 blue-black for a 4/4 legend spider hero at rare. You can have it enter as a copy of any card in a graveyard, except it keeps its name, and it's a 4/4 in addition to its other types. 4/4 spider human hero in addition to its other types. And when you do that, you exile the card in the graveyard. So, Superior Spider-Man, by the way, is the name on for the paper version, and yeah, so 4 mana 4/4 that like might come in as something better.
I was lower on this until I remembered Invasion of Am.
Right, Invasion of Amonkhet's kind of what I thought of this too. But that card, a lot of its power was just like you cast it and it's a 2-for-1.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like, the number of times that's something that, like, oh, that just wins the game if they flip it. Like, there's some copying things is in the graveyard is often better than something in play.
Right, because like, well, I think specifically it's copying something in the graveyard and giving it a stat boost too, right? Because like, you get a 1/1 flyer or a nice bird out of the grave, the city pigeon, 4/4 flyer is pretty good, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so grade on this one?
We both gave it a C+.
Yep. Next up is Niche, Pinnacle Pariah, which is 5 blue-black for a mythic legendary villain. It's a 4/5. Other villains you control get +2/+2. Your max hand size is 8. And at the beginning of your end step, if you have fewer than 8 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. And this is Dr. Octopus, Planet Manor, or Master Planner in paper. Been doing this for a while at this point. Yeah, so 7 mana 4/8 that pumps your creatures +2/+2, your villains anyways, and then also draws you a bunch of cards. Like a ton of cards, right? Because like, when you cast this, it's probably going to be the last card you have, or second last or something.
Yeah, you're drawing like 6 to 8 cards with this.
Yeah, nice.
You probably need to like end the game. Like, you can't just cast all those cards because you might just deck yourself with
Right,
this.
so by the time you cast this, you're like, let's say, I don't know, 22 cards, then you drop to like, going down to 16 or something. Take your draw step, cast a bunch, you go down to like 10. Yeah, like, it's something to consider, definitely.
It's kind of like I mean, most times you'll be fine. It's probably like the end stone where you'll deck yourself, but this thing also just kills them.
Yeah. So, grade on this one?
A- from both of us.
Yeah, looks nice. Next up is Ruzik, Booed but Victorious, which is 1 Rakdos Hybrid for a rare legend villain. It is a 5/4, so 3 mana 5/4, but it says at the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card and then make a treasure token. Also has Mayhem for 2 in a Rakdos Hybrid, and this is Ultimate Green Goblin in paper. So, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know. Like, why don't you take the? I'm very low confidence on this one.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you have, actually, I was gonna say if you have the deck for it, like, imagine a very heavy Mayhem deck. I think that's obvious, but like, how bad is it to say here is a 3 mana 5/4 that makes me discard a card? I guess 3 mana 5/4 is not that exciting. Like, we had the Regisaur a few years back, which was a 3 mana 7/6 that made you discard a card on your upkeep. And that was huge because it just killed you right away. This thing's a little smaller, so maybe not as into that. So I think you do have to be doing the thing is what I'm getting at here.
Didn't we just have a 3 mana 5/4 in Either Drift, the dinosaur thing?
3 mana 5/4. Oh, the rare that like pumped other dinos. Right. That was good, but yeah, that was good, but it didn't make you discard a card.
Well, yeah, it's green. Of course not. But, I mean, if you can turn the discarded card into an upside, it's incredible.
Yeah, which is all I'm getting at here. Yeah, I think that's the key. So if you're heavy discard synergies, like, if you can turn it into an upside, yes, very good card. So I think strictly a synergy / build around card. And,
yeah. So,
also, yeah, I guess if you're empty-handed, sure, that works too. Sorry, yeah, go ahead. Grades.
Yeah, grades. I am low confidence in my C. You are higher at a B minus.
Next up, we have Desecrex, Gift of Servitude. 2 black red for a legend villain at rare. It's a 4/3 trample. It says when it enters, you return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains this creature attacks each combat if able, and also gains the ability when this creature deals combat damage to a player, you sacrifice it. This card here, Desecrex, has a mayhem cost of red black, and this is Carnage, Crimson, Chaos, and paper. Okay, so 4 mana, Trampler, bring something back that traded off early. Kind of annoying. Maybe you get a good into the battlefield effect, potentially. But we also saw like a common similar to this card as the 4 mana red creature. If you're just looking at the stats, right? Like 4 mana 4/3 can be mayhemmed for 2 mana. So you do have to be getting some value out of the reanimate something to really feel like you're getting a good deal on it.
And there's not a ton of ETBs in this set, is there?
No, there's not. But I imagine like if you trade something off on 2, bring this back on 3 or 4, the thing you bring back will be like it's not irrelevant. They have to trade with it or have to take some damage until they can have a 3/3 or a 4/3 or whatever to be able to block. So I just think that like even though you're not really getting value on it, the thing you bring back is probably going to still be good.
Well, the thing you bring back might just have to like chump itself in the next turn.
Yeah, it might. It's true. It might. I'm just like my argument is just that like I think most of the time it will be a relevant enough thing that your opponent has to care about it.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. You gave this a C plus. I gave Desert a C.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Weird card up next. Cheering Crowd is 1 in a Gruul hybrid for a 2/2 rare. At the beginning of each player's first main phase, that player may put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and if they do, they add colorless for each counter on it. Okay, so it's like the opponent gets the first crack at this, right? They say, all right, I want some mana, but you get a 3/3. Then your turn, you say, okay, I want some mana, I get a 4/4 and 2 mana. It's an interesting card, because like it kind of reads like, oh, you should never do this. Like maybe even never put this card in your deck. But I don't know. I think most of the time your opponent's going to be pretty scared to get the mana boost out of this. Now, the time it goes badly for you is if they have a removal spell and they get the boost, right? That's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. What do you think?
I like it. I think it's good.
I think so too.
Hard to judge, and I also am annoyed again that Gruul's hybrid card is like also a Celestia and a Rakdos card.
Yeah, what's up with that? Why doesn't Girl get its toys for it and it alone?
Like we just saw the Rakdos one, and not only was it double pipped for the Rakdos, it was also like a Mayhem specific enabling card.
Mm-hmm.
This card's just like, yeah, any deck. Anyways, I'm ranting about already like however many hours. The grade on this could be way off from either of us. You are at C plus. I gave it a B minus.
Yeah, I just think it's it's fascinating card. Next up is Boris, the Spider Rider, which is 1 red-green for a 4/3 legend spider at rare. In web for red-green, it's got trample. And it says, if Boris was cast using in web, he enters with X +1/+1 counters on him, where X is the mana value of the returned creature. And this is Scarlet Spider, Ben Riley in paper. So 3 mana 4/3 trample. Okay, like again, fine card for the trample-y red-green plan. And yeah, could be huge. Like you could just have his enter as like a 10 power creature, 9 power trampler. It's possible.
I like it. I like the design on this card.
Yeah, because like you don't really have to do the thing to feel like you're getting a good deal. And yeah, sometimes it's just gonna be like, oh yeah, this thing is massive. I don't know.
So I gave it a C plus. You gave it a C.
Yeah. Next up is Demora, Soul of a Spider. This is 1 in a Selesnya hybrid for a legendary rare. 2/2. Whenever a spider you control enters, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn, and this is Mary Jane Watson in the paper version. So 2 mana 2/2 that draws you some cards if you're a spider heavy deck.
Yeah, you also probably need to untap with it. Like,
Yeah, of
there's
course.
not a lot of super cheap spiders.
Right.
Because you can just cast it and then cast your spider immediately, like kind of do the Sunstar Lightsmith impression or whatever, but
Yep.
not super easy to do. So for that reason, I was a little lower. I gave it a B minus. You gave it a.
Yep. Want to just say that one more time? I think we just missed the grade there.
It's always the grade.
I know it's always the
right?
grade. The grade was, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So I gave this a B minus. You gave it a B.
Yeah. We've got Eleni, Brood Recruiter, up next. 2 green white for a rare legendary creature spider hero. This is a 3/5, so 4-mana 3/5, in web of 1 green white. And whenever you cast a creature spell, you make a 1/1 green and white human creature token. And you pay 5 mana, 3 green white to have creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain vigilance until end of turn. And this is Silk Webweaver in paper.
Card is nuts.
Yeah, great card. Super cheap if you can get it down for its web cost. Threatens to make a bunch of creatures. Like, just everything, right? Like, makes the tokens, pumps the tokens, is a cheap in web creature, given its power and toughness.
And these gold cards are kind of why I think there will be splashing in the set, because there's so many good ones.
Yeah, this one's worth it. Like, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this is one of the best. We both gave this an A, but yeah, there's a lot of really.
So, like Mark alluded to a little bit earlier, there are some non-archetype rares here, as in there are some gold cards that aren't one of the 5 main archetypes. And, yeah, like, kind of just interesting to think about. Like, this might push you to be, for example, black-white. If you have one of the 2 good black-white rares here, this might push you to splashing. I imagine more often than not, it's going to be a splash thing rather than I'm these 2 colors. This archetype that doesn't really exist is not supported. I could also see it going the other way though. So yeah, we'll just see what the split on that is. Do you have any thoughts on that? I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that.
I doubt, because of how like supported the themes are, that you're gonna draft enemy colors almost at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like that they exist in the rare slot to like encourage splashes like that.
Me too. Yeah, I agree. So first one here, really nice one, is Conius, which is 5 black white for a 4/4 legend villain at rare. When it enters,
Three black.
oh sorry, 3 black white, 3 black white, even better. 3 black white for a 4/4 at rare, legendary villain. When it enters, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent and up to 1 target non-land permanent card from a graveyard. When it dies, you put this creature on the bottom of its owner's library. If you do, return the exiled cards to their owner's hands. Okay, so face value. By the way, this is the Spot Living Portal in paper. Face value comes in, exiles one of their things. You buy back something from your grave. They go, well, I'd love to kill this thing, get my creature back, but they get a card back too. So no matter what happens here, I'm pretty sad about that. But also, you can, if you really get lucky, you can web sling / in web this, right? So you exile something, pick it up, it doesn't die, right? You only get that trigger when this dies, and so you get to exile your opponent's thing for good, pick this up, do it again. So yeah, powerful if you just cast it, but has some potential to be even better.
Yeah, I had not thought about that, so I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
This card, I agree though, it's incredibly good. You gave it an A, I gave it an A.
Yeah, next one is the Mythic black-white card. And this is Withar Cocoon Keeper, 7 mana, 2 of which being Orzhov. And this is Mr. Negative in paper. Legendary creature villain at Mythic. Vigilance lifelink. And when it enters, you may exchange life totals with target opponent. If life was lost this way, you draw that many cards. So yeah, if you're ahead, okay, great. Maybe you say you don't switch. Maybe you say you switch and draw a few cards. If you're way behind though, like this is like the most swingy of swing cards, right? Like, all right, great. I was just about to kill my opponent, and now I go to 1, and they've got a 5/5 lifelink vigilance in play.
I love the design on this thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like, so, okay, I'm going to go, I'll spend a little bit long because I want to go more in depth of what you just talked about.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
If you're way behind in life total, this basically just wins the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you're slightly behind in life total, like a nice, drain, like 5/5 vigilance life, like that's probably the worst scenario. If you're slightly ahead in life total, it can be like a draw, whatever, 1 to 5 cards type
Yep.
of thing. And if
Yeah.
you're way ahead, then it's just a big vigilance lifelink that probably closes the game out. So
Yeah.
it's great everywhere.
Yep. Good card. Good card. And what do we give it?
We both gave it a B.
Yep. Very nice one. Also very cool art for the paper version. Next up is Uharis, the Storm Spinner, which is red-blue for a legendary spider at rare. 2/3 double strike vigilance. Okay, that's really good, but it can only be cast, or it can't be cast on the first, second, or third turn of the game. It also says at the beginning of your upkeep, of your end step, if you play land or cast a spell this turn from anywhere but your hand, this creature deals damage equal to his power to any other target, and this is Spider-Man 2099 in paper. So yeah, you can't cast it early, but you can double spell on turn 4 with it is like the best early thing to do. This one's okay.
It's it's pretty good if you're splashing it in Rakdos, right?
I was just gonna say the awkward thing about this card is there's no red blue archetype, and so you're likely to splash it, and it's not a great splash. That's where I'm
But you can
coming
trigger
from.
this like every time you mayhem something,
Mm-hmm.
you're dealing 2 to any target.
Well, like once per turn, right?
Sure, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sold. I'm not sold as this is a good splash.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, you gave it a D plus. I was only barely higher than you on C minus.
Okay,
But
yeah, fair
yeah,
enough.
I think there's a chance here.
Yeah, fair enough. Bracco, Heartless Hunter is 1 black-green for a 4/3 trample legendary creature villain at rare. Whenever a creature an opponent controls with the greatest power amongst creatures that player controls dies, draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on Bracco, and this is Craven the Hunter in paper. So yeah, whenever their biggest thing dies, you get to draw a card and grow Bracco. It's just a good body.
And if they have 2 things with the greatest power, either one of them will.
Yes, yeah, that's true. If it's tied, you're good. Yeah, so I mean, not much to dislike other than it is hard to cast card in colors that you're not going to be generally drawn to. So like a splash in a blue-black deck is kind of where I'm seeing this, right? It's a villain, so matters for that too.
It's got trample for the red green deck.
No, there you go. Yeah, it's splashing your cheap stompy creature. That's it. Yeah. So what do we give this one?
I gave it a C plus. You gave it a B minus.
Next up, we've got Gloria, the Great Armorer, which is the Boros card here. 1 red-white for a 3/3 legendary human spider hero at rare. Whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. And whenever a modified creature you control deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You can play that card this turn. And this is Arana, Heart of the Spider in paper. Really, really, like, this is a nice incentive to do something weird, because this card's very powerful.
It is the scariest on turn 3.
Yes. Yeah, like, it doesn't scale as well later, but still.
Yeah, so I bumped it down a little bit for that. You're 2 grades higher than me on this one. You gave Gloria a B. I was at a C plus.
Next up, we've got Drunith, Reviver of the Hive. This is blue-green for a 1/1 trample, legendary villain at rare. This is Jackal, Genius Geneticist in paper, and the ability is trample, and whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value equal to Drunith's power, copy that spell, except the copy isn't legendary, and then you put a +1/+1 counter on Drunith. So, some pretty powerful stuff going on if you were to continually trigger this, but like getting the train rolling is tough.
You just need some pigeons.
You just need some pigeons, yeah, exactly. Your Bant pigeon deck. I want to like it, but I think it's just too tough to string things together in the right way.
Yeah, you either need to boost its power or get a 1-drop, neither of which are worth splashing and jumping through hoops for. So we both gave this a D minus.
Yeah. We do have a pretty good 5-color payoff in Scions of the Earth Spider, which is all 5 colors, 5 mana, Legendary Spider Hero at Mythic. It's a 5/5 flying, first strike, trample, lifelink, haste. And this is the beginning of combat on your turn. Other spiders you control gain all those abilities I just read out. This is Cosmic Spider-Man in paper. So it's actually, I feel like the last few sets, the 5-color payoff has not really been worth it. And this is worth it. I would say you want to, this is a good reason to be a splish splashy green deck.
I agree. Yeah, I like the power level of this one. I'm interested in trying at least once this format.
Yeah.
We have another grade gap, but I think this is kind of like the quintuple white pipped card where you've just graded it, assuming for the people who are actually going to cast it. So you've given it a B. I've given it a C.
Yep, and that is going to bring us on to colorless cards. So almost here. Giant Craft Helm is the first one. This is Doc Ock's Tentacles in paper. Single mana for a rare equipment. Equip cost of 5. It says whenever a creature you control with mana value 5 or greater enters, you may attach this equipment to it. And the equipped creature gets +4/+4. Okay, so like if you're... Sorry, say again?
It's a big boost.
It's a big boost. It's a lot of mana though. So like, I imagine if your deck is right for it, you'll often get like 1 equip per game on average. So like if you've got, I don't know, let's say 6 creatures that fulfill this requirement, 5 mana value or more, I think it's pretty safe to say you'll get an equip. And like paying 5 mana, like we usually rag on expensive equipment costs, but like you said, +4 is a lot. Like that is I think worth paying the 5 mana. Tough one.
Yeah, I'm interested in trying this out in a few spots. I was a little higher than you on this one. C-. You are at D+.
Yeah, I think I probably want to come up on that a little bit. Next up is Peter Parker's Camera. That's the paper name. The arena name is Phenomena Recorder. Single mana for an artifact at rare. It enters with 3 film counters on it, and you can tap it, remove a film counter from this artifact, copy target activated or triggered ability. You can choose new targets for the copy. F?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Next up is Stitcher's Wings, which is a 3 mana equipment at rare. It's got an equip cost for 2. Also a mayhem cost for 2. When this enters, if it was cast from your graveyard, you auto-equip it to target creature you control, and the equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has flying and haste. Okay, like that's a really good equipment, right? Like 3 mana equip 2 +2 flying haste, like oof. And mayheming that's really really good. By the way, this is rocket powered Goblin Glider in paper. Oof, wow. Yeah, I like it. What do you think?
So this card seems, I think you're too low on this.
Yeah, I think I am too. I think I remember grading this card. I wasn't excited about it, so I think I must have misread it somehow.
Because I mean, we've played whatever Kite Wings or whatever it is, like the +1/+0 flying in a bunch of sets where it's like 2 mana to play, 2 mana to equip.
Yep.
And this is only 1 extra mana on the front side, and it gives extra power and haste.
And it could be card advantage or mana advantage with Mayhem.
Yeah, that's without me even talking about the best part of this, which is like that it's literally free for the Mayhem decks. But I think like if you're in non-red black, you probably still pick this reasonably, like maybe not first pick, but pretty early.
No, I think so too. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I'll defer to you on this one because I know I graded this too low.
I think my grade might be too low as well. I gave it a B. It's probably supposed to be even higher than that.
Like B+, A- maybe?
Yeah, I think, B+ probably.
Next up, we've got Physic Ethereum Mechanic, which is a 3 mana 2/3 legendary spider hero at rare. Paper name is Iron Spider Stark Upgrade. Has Vigilance and has the ability tap, put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact, creature, and or vehicle you control, and also 2 mana, remove 2 +1/+1 counters from among artifacts you control, draw a card. So not a ton of support for this, but 2/3 Vigilance that grows itself is also like kind of okay.
Well, it already attacks as a 3/4.
Yes, yes, and also as a spider. You can also remove the counters from other things. Like, it doesn't have to be from itself.
Yeah,
I think pretty good. I think you're fairly happy to take this early.
I think so too. I think I might also be too low on this one. We
Hmm.
both gave it a C plus. I think I can see it going into the B
Yeah,
range.
no, I agree with that. Reality Fulcrum is up next. This is a 4-mana artifact at rare. And paper it is Interdimensional Web Watch. When it enters, exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You can play those cards. And you can pay tap this artifact, add 2 mana of any combination, spend this to cast only spells from exile. So kind of a bad-ish card draw spell, right?
Kind of. It's yeah. Like, is it? It's. I kind of think it's the same ish as divination.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I guess that's. I said bad-ish, but as soon as that word left my mouth, I'm like, I don't know if that's right exactly because it's like it's a divination that costs 1 more, but rebates you 2 of the mana.
Well, but
So
you have to use the cards within the
yes, you
next like
have
turn.
to right spend it right away and spend it on those cards. So yeah, not quite. I don't think you're generally gonna play this card though, right? Like it'd be like a really low tier playable.
I'm planning on trying it. I'm
Yeah, me too.
actually 2 grades higher than you, which might be the only card. Maybe there's one other that I'm that much higher for. Because yeah, like if you hit 2 spells, it like if you hit a 2 drop off this, right, you can play it right away, and then you can play the other cards on the next turn. So I could be way off. I'm at a C minus for this. You are at a D.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm excited to try it out. And that's gonna bring us to 2 lands to finish this out, or sorry, 3 lands to finish out here. So Urban Retreat is one of them. It's a rare. It enters tapped. It taps to add green, white, or blue, and has the ability to return a tapped creature to its owner's hand. So this is web slinging basically. Put this card from your hand onto the battlefield. Activate that only as a sorcery. So it's a tri-land, a Bant tri-land that effectively has web slinging.
Other than our boy the pigeon, is there anything that you want to return just to get a land earlier though?
The one that draws you your card. Again, if you can find some way to tap that early.
Yeah, it's kind of those two because the extra mana you get from playing this early is just going to end up being spent on recasting the thing you've bounced back a lot
Right.
of the time.
Yeah, it's true. You're not really gonna get like a mana advantage very often from this.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, like one thing we haven't mentioned with web slinging is sometimes you just want to give your creature vigilance, right? Like to just
Sure. Yeah.
recast it. So I like it. Like we're not gonna be like, oh, sick land, but like it's a tri land. It's good. It like it's flexible. It fixes your mana for 2 out of the 5 archetypes. You might use the ability. Not much to hate about it, right?
Yeah. C plus from me, B minus from you.
Kind of similar here. This is exclusive nightclub land rare enters tapped. This time it's a Grixis land, so it's blue, black, red, and it enters. If it enters from a graveyard, you lose 2 life, which kind of gives you a bit of a hint that it has mayhem. So this one, not. Well, no, I was gonna say not as good as pitching a spell, but it's kind of similar. It doesn't actually matter too much. Yeah, no, I like this one. It's a card advantage land if you can have some sort of way to turn it into that.
There you go. You made your way there.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
waiting.
I was like, oh, whatever, kind of. That it's like, oh, draw a card. Yeah, draw a card fixes everything.
Yeah, I like this one more than the last one too. We both gave this one a B minus.
Yeah. Cool. I knew I gave it that grade for a reason. And the last card here is Multiversal Passage. By the way, last land was Oscorp Industries in paper, and this is Multiversal Passage everywhere you look. So this is a rare land. As it enters, you choose a basic land type, and you can pay 2. If you don't, it enters tapped, and the land is a whatever you call. So kind of like an Evolving Wilds, but you don't have to put the basic in your deck, and can come in untapped for 2 life. So like actually, probably better off as like a monocolored shock land. That's the better way to put it.
Yes. Yeah, good fixing. C plus from me, B minus from you.
And that's it. end of the set review. So yeah, I mean, it's like we kind of assumed. We got through it basically in about as much time as we would the common uncommon set review. Um, thoughts on the sets, on the rares? Anything to leave us with?
Well, as I said, I my thoughts aren't as deep as usual. I'm gonna in the Edge of Eternity's one, spacecraft and all that. This one, hopefully, our viewership will give us for not having perhaps as in-depth expert takes. But I do think the set, like if you're kind of on the fence about trying it, I would say give it a try. Like it looks well designed. I think it'll be entertaining. Can you do 50 drafts of it? Maybe not, but I think your first like 10 to 20 to maybe 30 will still be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's been my take too. Like I know there's a lot of people who are kind of off the set from the get go for various reasons, but I just kind of think with any Magic set, like it's always worth the first few drafts. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But I know there's a lot of people who, Edge of Eternity is a good example. Where like I didn't think I'd be into the set, but I played it and it was like pretty fun. I played it till the end. So don't tell especially it's easy to let like the internet's grumble rumbles kind of influence your opinion of this set, I think, because there's been a lot of that. So yeah, give it a go or two, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. All right, Mark, I think we'll just call it from there. As always, thank you so much to everybody watching, listening on YouTube, Twitch. If you're here with us, but yeah, I appreciate your help, of course, and would love to have you back for the next one for a full set the next time. Avatar, I think it is the next one. So yeah, happy to have you this time and every time in the future.
Thanks again for having me. We'll be doing early access on Wednesday. I will also be, I assume I haven't run this by you, but I'm throwing you in the deep end here. I will be running the tier list for us as well. So when we get an updated version of that, we'll be doing that too. And hopefully the set's as good as we hope it is.
Yep, exactly. All right. Bye, everybody.